Hello and welcome to this segment of Sister to Sister. You see, we are 5 women and we're rather opinionated, which you're going to find out right now. Oh, yeah. We answer the questions of the world from a biblical perspective and mostly from love. And this question is kind of about love because here's what it is, and I know we all know someone. When you see a single person in church or in life, do you feel the need to set them up? And why is that? Why is that? Why do we feel like everyone needs to be hooked up, well, not hooked up, set up, married, relationship? Why?
Come on, marry first. Be a Christian here.
Yeah.
Who has something for me?
Oh man, in church life, I'm constantly looking like, oh, they would be great together. And then I have to hold myself back. Amy, you're not born to be the matchmaker. Matchmaker, make me a match. Although I have made some great matches. I mean, I can almost think, that guy would be perfect for that girl where they're at. I mean, I've tried. But honestly, it depends really. Are they looking to date? You know, some people are just so content to be single, and I think that's a great, wonderful thing. Singleness should be celebrated because, man, once you get married, it's so much fun.
Do you think that they're really content, or do they look at the world and think, well, everyone else is happy and married. Why aren't I, Lord? Where's my match?
Especially in the church. I think it's a kind of a thing because maybe of Adam and Eve and all that, and be fruitful and multiply. And the church, the culture of the church has a sense that people should be married. And it used to irk me when women were talking in the wherever about this one's good with this one. I used to go crazy over it.
I mean, women trying to matchmake.
Yes, yes. But now I'm okay because one of my friends actually is quite successful at it.
There you go.
But I think the one scripture about Hosea, that God says, I have betrothed you to myself.
Hallelujah.
We need to get a grasp of that first, because I think in other cultures there is matchmaking. You know, in many cultures, you marry who your parents selected or who this matchmaker selected.
Even today, in today's world, still.
So and it seems to be somewhat successful till they get over to the Western world and realize it's easy to get divorced and whatever. But, you know, I think people have to get a grasp of God's betrothed me to himself. So let's make sure the right person that he selects comes into my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
Just so you guys know, my mom actually found both mine and my sister's husbands, and they're both pastors' sons. So I'm just saying, the matchmaking still happens, and I'm grateful for it. I mean, honestly, at the time I was annoyed at my mom, but I mean, it's turned out pretty good. I've been married for 20 years.
Right.
So, and it's
Mothers
not,
know best.
That's true. It's not good for a man to be alone. No. So, I mean, I think we have this natural thing, and we want companionship. We want relationships. We want that. I think that's natural. And I say, why not in church? Why? I mean, the one thing I have to say is, I think sometimes in the church, the bar is set too low. And what I mean by that is, it's like, oh, is that person a Christian? Oh, they're the perfect match for me. Like, that's like the only criteria that matters is that they're a Christian. And I mean, it's far beyond that. Yes, that is a very important criteria, but there should also be some other things that you match up with.
Yeah. I guess, you know, when I think about it, just coming back to the question, when you see a single person in church, do you feel a need to set them up? And for me, absolutely not. But what I do feel the constraint is to help them understand singleness, because I think that that's where it all gets off track, because we don't understand singleness and the importance of it. Because you're single doesn't make you lesser of a person. And you need that singleness. I love the scripture that you used from Hosea, you know, and then there's other scriptures, Ephesians and Corinthians, and, you know, how that in your singleness, how you have that time to minister to the Lord. And until I learn to minister to the Lord, I'll never be able to minister to an imperfect man. You know, and until I am complete in him, I'll always look at that human flesh to come on in and complete something in me or to fulfill something in me. And that's where most of us go off course. So not understanding singleness makes you want to fix what's not broke.
That's right.
Just because I'm single, I'm not broke. I'm not half of a person because I'm single. And so by the time, I don't know, but I'd be interested to find out, and I know Roxy was, transparent enough to share this at one time. When you hit that sweet spot of singleness, just you and the Lord, and just, discovering the unique you, who God made you to be, who I am when God fashioned me, and when God fashioned me in my mother's womb, he knew me prior to that. So that sweet spot of him and I, you understand what I'm saying? Reconnecting. And then when you have that, it just seems to me that that's when somebody tends to come in your life that is connected to your destiny.
Right. Right. You know what, when you said about a man, I wonder too, there's men, single men in our churches that we look at and say, oh, we could hook that person up with this one. Or, well, hook meaning have a date. So I think that this is great that we're talking about it. And as you're watching us at home, and you might know someone that's single, or you might be single, and we ask you to just go to the Lord, because he has the perfect plan for your life. And we thank you for joining us on this segment of Sister to Sister.